Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Distinctly Average. This week we'll be talking about Valve and Surgeon Simulator. There are rumours about Half-Life 3. Is it happening? Is it not? Of course it's bloody not. Saints Row 4 got banned in Australia, sort of. There's also news about The Witcher 3. We talk more about Animal Crossing, and Colin will tell us about Arma 3. So yes, Valve, Surgeon Simulator, what happened there?
Well, Surgeon Simulator was updated during the week, and so was Half-Life 2 before that. And the recurring theme is it's updated with Korean characters hidden within the game somewhere. Half-Life 2 was updated with complete Korean language pack, and the game plays in Korean for some people. And Surgeon Simulator had a hidden message on the end of the side of an item you can pick up in the game, and it had Korean characters as well.
Which said it's time or time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the language pack was 3.7 gigs for Half-Life 2. It includes Turkish and yeah, it's Korean. So it's helpful if you're Korean, you can now play Half-Life 2 in Korean. But it's a hell of a 3.7 gigs is a hell of a language pack. But it was this crossover with Surgeon Simulator that got people talking, and it's fairly tenuous at best.
NeoGaf pretty much jumped on it pretty quickly, and so did people like forums like Reddit. Thought it was the beginning of an announcement of perhaps Half-Life 3 or Episode 3, but Surgeon Simulator people have quickly debunked that. Valve have been keeping quiet though, so...
Yeah, it was a whole thing about planets aligning and something about September 27th, 2013, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or it could be just Bossa is just very clever at just jumping on the fact that everyone desperately wants Half-Life 3. They just put some Team Fortress 2 characters in Surgeon Simulator, and it's like, well, what would you do? Like just piss around with the internet people. So all credit to them if they have. It's funny.
Yeah. They've actually tweeted out themselves, like, whoa, it seems you're a little ahead of yourselves. Here's a clue. This has nothing to do with Valve games. Carry on. So yeah.
I was going to ask actually. Well, I mean, I've never played Surgeon Simulator before, and I'm just confused at how people got connected between the two. I mean, Half-Life 2 and Surgery Simulator just sounds like two opposite ends of a scale. Where was the connection?
I think it was the Korean, because Steam support tweeted out some words in Korean. Oh, we've lost Nick.
Lost Nick.
And there was Korean in the. Oh, it was a Team Fortress 2 update for Surgeon Simulator.
2. You can extract body parts from the medic from the heavy, sorry, and you can play as the medic in the game. Just a nifty idea. Welcome back, Nick.
Thank you.
And the second big thing that happened this week was Saints Row 4 got banned in Australia. Nick, can you tell us why?
Okay, Saints Row 4, as you know, is a fairly insane, even more insane than Saints Row 3. They've got an alien weapon called the Anal Probe, which probes anuses. You can essentially it's basically got the bottom of it is like a sword, the grip is like a sword, and then it's just got this dildo kind of thing stuck on it, and you can run around and you can attack anyone, so not just aliens but also passers-by. You shove the anal probe in their behind. They don't have to be clothed. They can be clothed or they can be naked. It will still work. And then the whole area, the behind, goes pixelated, and then you can fire them off into the air. So the Australian classification board did not particularly. They thought it was not very. It was too much sex. There was too much sexual violence in the game. When using this weapon, the player approaches a clothed victim from behind and thrusts the weapon between the victim's legs and lifts him off the ground before pulling the trigger, which launches the victim into the air. After the probe has been implicitly inserted into the victim's anus, the area around their buttocks becomes pixelated, highlighting the aim of the weapon is to penetrate the victim's anus.
Someone had fun in Australia with that game.
The description sounds worse than the actual act itself.
I know.
Does it though? I mean, that is the act.
Yeah, it is basically. Yeah, they said buttocks and anus.
Buttocks and anus.
Oh dear.
Australia will be missing out.
There we go.
I think as an 18-rated game, you should be allowed to make the decision over it. You don't have to use it. It's an optional weapon.
No, we have to use it.
Terrible. You're
Yeah,
all
but-
terrible people.
But the giant, the penetrator in Saints Row 3 was actually a pretty shit weapon anyway. You used it once and just went, this is rubbish. So, they also didn't like, on top of that, they didn't like the use of drugs. At one point in a side mission, apparently, you use alien drugs, and it gives you superpowers, and they didn't like the association between taking drugs and having superpowers. So they banned...
It's taking drugs and being awesome.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, which also affected State of Decay as well, which is a similar problem. So Volition have said they are going to work with the and see what they can do to try and not get the game banned. So they might tone down the alien probe, so it won't probe so many anuses this time. So that's it's. If you take it in the context of the entire game, you're kind of not surprised. But when you take it in isolation, it just seems a very, very silly weapon to have in the game.
So what do you think, Sean? Would the game be better or worse with alien probes?
Do you know what? I personally thought it would. Anything outrageous from that company would be amazing anyway. I mean, they're always trying to.
Are you sitting there going, God damn, I wish I could jam a probe up this guy's ass?
It's because it's so outrageous. It makes that game so memorable and makes you want to forget about GTA. Sorry, Colin. I know you love GTA, but
It's controversial.
I mean, the problem that we had with a problem I had with GTA 4 was the fact that it was very serious. So Saints Row 3 was pretty cool. So an anal probe, you're not going to get that in GTA 5. So I know.
Yeah, we don't know. I mean,
No, I think I'm for having this anal probe. I'm gonna see how many times I can say anal probe in this podcast today.
Hey, you heard it here. Sean is for having an anal probe.
I hope
Colin.
I'm just trying to
Yeah.
think what games would be made better.
What, with anal rape guns?
Yes.
I think it's the fact that you can also just attack any passerby whatsoever with it. It just is a bit over the top for the Australian censors.
Aw.
Colin,
Yes.
The Witcher 3. There was a fact sheet that came out, and we had an interview. Hooray!
Yes, we on the site put up an interview with one of the lead level designers, Jonas Mattsson.
Jonas Mattsson, he was a lead environmental designer.
There we go.
So he did all the pretty cliffs and ships and stuff. I don't know what he did, but presumably it was trees.
Lots of trees.
Ocean.
But does look like there's a lot of trees. And we talked for a few minutes. He gave us a brief overview of the game, and then we made the awkward groups.
Excellent.
Yeah, so it's a very good video. It's up on the site now. It's available to watch.
So what's the game? What was the game like then?
Well, you'd ask Debbie.
Hello.
What's the game like, Debbie?
It's very pretty. We didn't actually get to play it ourselves, but it's The Witcher. I mean, it's open world now, so the world is much, much bigger. We saw a bit on a place called Anskellige, I think, which is influenced by Nordic and Celtic mythology. And yeah, it looks like Skyrim. Less snow, but very, very Skyrimish.
But better than Skyrim, from what I've heard. I mean,
People
Well,
like that game.
No one's actually played it, we don't know. But it looks quite cool, because, yeah, Geralt, there's no boss battles now. And in the second game, the boss battles, everyone I know just thought they were a bit rubbish. It wasn't really in keeping with the whole feel of the game, which is run around and do whatever you want. It was too scripted. So now you'll just encounter these massive things out in the wild, and generally have to use your wits to figure out what the hell is happening. And, run away or possibly kill it.
Cool.
Yeah, there's
So-
a whole tracking section as well, so you can use Geralt's Witcher powers to poodle about in the forest, and you'll see tracks, and every time you go up to one, Geralt will mumble something that is a clue as to what the beast is. You need to pay attention to that, because then you have to go into the bestiary and figure out what it is for yourself. So that's quite nice. It's not just walk from point to point, and then poof, go here, do this.
Was there promised boobs, though, and nudity and all of that returning?
There are definitely next-gen boobs.
Do they have dead or alive physics?
I couldn't possibly comment, I didn't see them. What was that, Colin?
On the video. Isn't there a clip in the video of booby?
There's a clip of The Witcher 2.
Okay, fine.
Yes.
No Witcher 3.
Oh yeah, they'll be saving that for next year when it probably comes out, I think. They haven't put a release date on it yet, have they?
No, they always say it'll be ready when it's ready. I bought a DS.
Yeah.
I'm playing Animal Crossing. All I do is play Animal Crossing.
That is
So good.
worth it.
It's totally worth it. I do need to point out, we talked about this last week. I was moaning about the weeding, because
Yes.
I really hate weeding. You can actually avoid it. You can go into the town hall and enact ordinances that mean your villagers, the animals, will do the weeding for you. So that's awesome. No more weeding. But it costs you 20,000 bells to screw about with the ordinances, so yeah, that takes a while.
Is that a one-off cost? Is that recurring?
It's a one-off. I mean, I went for that ordinance, and it's 20,000 every time you want to change an ordinance. So, yeah, it's just one-off payment. If you're going to keep it like that, just let them do the weeding and the planting and the watering of all the flowers. Nothing to worry about.
See, that's quite funny. When you say ordnance, I think of bombs and guns and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
you're thinking,
And dust.
yeah,
5 foot. You know what it is.
bring the ordnance and weed.
What's your town?
So how much
like?
does 20,000 bells or whatever the currency is of bells later grass? How long does that take to get? Or accumulate?
Sean?
20,000 bells. I mean, if you're only trying to grind within your own town, it could probably take you some time. But most people would advise you to unlock some more parts of the game. So you get an island that you can visit, and you can find rare bugs and more fishes to get. So you can get the 20,000.
Yeah, how do you get the island? Because
So you get the island. From what I remembered, I got it on my 3rd day of playing it. It's just basically when you load up the game and you're still saying, "Oh, let me just make your town," when it says a loading screen. It says, "Oh, in the meantime, here's our previous mayor from the previous game. He wants you to come and visit him on the island." And that kind of happened pretty early on. I mean, I've had it for 7 days now, and I've got it halfway. I guess halfway. So about 3 days, you'll get that island unlocked, and it'll just be a
I've had it
whole
since Monday.
world. Yeah.
But then again, it did take me 2 days to earn the money to pay off to get my house. So yeah.
Really? Okay.
I kept playing late at night, and the shops close at 10 or 11. So yeah, I'd pick up all these freaking seashells, and I'd be like, "Oh no, I can't sell them."
What? So what ordinance are you going to go for? Because there's a late night shopping one, which means that the hours of the shops stay open a bit later, and you got an early bird one which starts it earlier. So, do you know if you might go for any of those, or have you chosen one yet?
I don't have 20,000 bells. So, from what you're asking, this occurs to me that Animal Crossing is an amazing game, but also the dullest thing to talk about. And now Nick's actually left.
Yeah.
Nick has gotten up and walked away. I played Yoshi's Island. There we go. There's another game that's
Yoshi's
not Animal
Island, is that
Crossing.
3DS.
Yoshi's Island 2 3DS. So that's my Animal Crossing, my New Leaf 3DS. Hooray!
Oh.
So cute. Don't be ripping up my trees. Put it
Nick, you
down.
need to
Put
speak.
it down.
Next speak, so we can.
Yes, see, look, it's a nice Animal Crossing 3DS. It's quite big. It's quite white, and there's the inside.
Put my town away. He's
Where's
gonna
the
rip up all
there's a
my
delete button
flowers.
here, so just-
Stop it! Stop it!
Your town's on ransom.
Colin,
Yes.
Arma 3. I hear you've played it.
Yeah, the beta started on Tuesday and is priced £30. They've had a kind of Minecraft kind of pricing structure. The alpha was £20. It ran from March until Tuesday, and then they've got a beta, which is got improvements, new scenarios, new multiplayer experiences, all in it. So, yeah, it's good. It's for those who haven't played it, it's a hyper realistic military simulator, and you get pretty much free roam of, at the moment, a 20 square mile Greek island, I think it is.
Does that include air bases
It does include an airbase.
that they allegedly were spying on, and which got 2 of the developers arrested?
Yeah, they're still arrested, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're still kind of in a bit of limbo, aren't they? But no, it's good. The final game apparently is going to have about 150 square miles of land that you can run around on, and it takes a long time to do anything. But what I've been playing mostly is a game called Wasteland, and it's kind of like DayZ, but it was around before that. But it's military, it's more military aimed, and you stay as your army person, you've got complete free roam of the island, but you're against other teams. There's no zombies, so it's like DayZ without the zombies. Really
boring.
Yeah, no, but the thing
Well,
is
that's just
actually.
driving around.
Well, no, because you're getting.
Do you have to kill someone?
You can kill everyone.
Are you
Or
supposed
you
to?
can work with people. Yeah, like DayZ, you can kill everyone or work with people or whatever. And every 10 minutes there's a new mission. So you can repair helicopters, repair vehicles, use vehicles, buy new guns from gun stores. The thing is, there's only about 3 gun stores on the map. So where the gun store comes into it is everyone's converging on the same gun store. So you can have absolute horrifically scary battles in this gun store because it's permadeath. Once you die, you lose everything that you've accumulated over your probably long time of play because it just sucks you in. So the kind of the average playtime for me is probably about 3 hours because it's just like you just start playing and just keep going. So it's not for everyone, but I've managed to get about 3 people who didn't like playing Arma 2 into it and hooked on it within about a week. So it's good. I like it. Plus, someone's ported over unofficially the DayZ mod, so you can play that if you want.
Fair enough.
There is the official scenario as well where you practice your sniping skills or commanding, but the fun's the multiplayer really. So it's good fun and it's still worth it at £30 because the amount of playtime you're going to get out of it if you play with friends and invest a little bit of time is easily over 50 hours. Yeah.
Excellent.
So you'd recommend that over the next Call of Duty game then?
It's a completely different type of game. I like Call of Duty. I like those 5 hours that I sit down and play and then never play it again.
Oh, because you only play single player, don't you?
I kind of burned myself out. I played about 600 hours of Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer.
Jeez.
Oh my
No.
goodness gracious me, Colin.
And that's not a joke.
That's why you're so pale.
Yeah.
No.
It was just every night I had a team. And if you remember Modern Warfare 4, Modern Warfare 2, it was teams of 6 online. And it had that IWN stuff. So we had 5, and we'd always have another some person. So we would come in every night, sit down, play about 4 hours a night. 4 hours, 5 hours a night, because it was just a thing to do at that time. And it was
For a
good
year.
fun because, yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yep, that sounds about right.
Cool.
It's good fun. I miss those days.
So has anyone played State of Decay?
I've played State of Decay.
What's it like? I keep hearing about it.
It's a decent zombie shooter. Well, no, it's actually not a shooting game. It's a town management survival adventure-y arcade title, which
What?
it does a lot of genres.
What
Is
is
it a
that?
top-down shooter? Is it a first-person
No,
shooter?
it's a
Is it
third person. It's a third person. I would say shooter, even though you don't have to use loads of the guns in the game anyway. So State of Decay, in terms of you mentioned emotional. Can you get emotional attached to your characters? You're finding survivors along the way, and they're kind of all unique. So you might find some that are really helpful with kind of cooking like a chef, or some might have been a dancer and they might be good cardio. But apart from that, they're just generic characters. I didn't feel any emotional attachment to these characters. So basically, in a gist of a nutshell, the game is basically you're trying to escape this town. And it's about town management, so it's all about the actual finding resources, working together, and sending your guys out to kind of find these things. But it's a cool game. I mean, you can finish it if you really wanted to finish it and just stick to some of the missions. You can do it within 4 hours, but you can keep it going until a good 10 hours if you wanted to, which is decent length for an arcade title. Yeah, so it's about morality, rations, ammo, looking after your team, just being.
So is it your team of NPCs or?
So it's all about team of NPCs and as well as fighting. And there's permadeath in the game, which seems to be the running topic so far of current games. So yeah, it's basically how to keep your crew to the best of their jobs and positions and keeping them all happy and rescuing them when they need help.
Okay. So what kind of jobs do they have?
So jobs, the jobs that you can get them to do would be, so if you went out to go and find some kind of rations, you can go and get these guys to go out and collect it after you found them. Or if you might be doing something yourself, you can kind of call them to kind of help you out. A bit like Assassin's Creed, but unlike Assassin's Creed, some of them are a bit too scared to help you out, so they might just run to a nearby cabin. And you can complete the mission and leave them in the cabin, but their morality will go down. So they'll be like, oh, why did you leave me behind and stuff? Or you can just leave them
Because you were
entirely.
too chicken shit to run.
Yeah. So basically, I mean, the best way I found playing it was literally assigning the right people for the right jobs. You can find people who are completely rubbish, like might be a good skill of having Sudoku, which doesn't come anything useful in the zombie apocalypse. Or you might meet like a cook or a soldier or someone that used to be, like I said, a dancer, and they might have like good cardio, you know, be able to feed the rest of the camp, and it just works out better. So it's about knowing where to put your characters in the right roles. XCOM-ish, I want to say, a bit like XCOM. I don't know. It's pretty cool. You just assigning the right people in the right positions, and I found, it was pretty cool. So the game doesn't have any kind of multiplayer or co-op, which a few people have said that would be better. But in a town management kind of game, you don't want to be sharing those big responsibilities and having people taking your people away. So yeah, it works by itself.
This week we
Sean's
should
waving.
have some videos of Derry and myself using the Oculus Rift,
Ah, yes.
which is going
That's
to
a
be
good
good
one.
fun to watch.
We do. We look like twats.
It's hard not to.
And we will also have a thing about the PlayStation and the Xbox controllers. Mostly I'll just look at
Yes.
them and go, yep, here they are. Look, it's a bit clicky. So yes, check back on the site. Thank you for watching, and see you next week. Bye!
Bye.